All right, hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, giving our praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Chakodash. Double honors once again, as always, and to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us truth. Love you. Peace, much love, and salutations as always to the full elect. You know, as you see by the title, um, you know, resent of our wrongdoings. Okay, and this is gonna be real quick. Putting something on wax. Forgive me in advance, for the yawns and shit like that. But these things have to be done, you know. But yeah, the resent that we have ultimately of Yahweh Shemashai, or Salaki, not the resent that we have for Yahweh Shemashai, but the resent that we have for our actions to Yahweh Shemashai, Salaki. Um, you know, which I mean, in hell, in this sense, it says appreciate, be grateful for. Could have been a positive sense, but we're going to talk about this part, all right? Because when it's all yeah, when it's all said and done, you know, as it says here, we're going to start with this. Micah 7:9. I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him. Until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. So again, we have to go through these things because when it's all said and done, man, we went against Yahweh Shai. We're the ones that sinned. Uh, we understand our, you know, we understand the penalty. So his word for resent, which I got this for contrite in Psalms 34. It says, feel pain or distress, take something ill, consider as an injury or affront, be in some degree angry or provoke that, right? And again, the hopeful elect right here says, feel pain, regret. We regret the actions that were done. Now, granted, this is the movie of Yahweh Shai, so there's nothing that you can really do about it. But to understand that, or to come back into this understanding and to realize that, man, we could have been on a higher level. We could have been doing this. We could have been doing that. And now you're subject to clocking in and baby mamas and goddamn Burger King. All right. Not saying like Jake eating Burger King, but you know, that's what you're subject to. That's what's around you on a day to day. The McDonald's and shit like that. All these low vibrational things. You know, when the ultimate goal was for us to be gods on the earth and to um you know to be in that perfect state. So we regret it. We resent it, right? So Psalms 34, uh, Psalms 34 and 17. And I went into this the other day, I believe. So if it's repetitive, it is what it is. But it's on my spirit. It says, the righteous cry, and the Lord heareth and delivered them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are a broken that slack it. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and save of such as be of a contrite spirit. All right. So the ones that are in the contrite spirit are ultimately the ones that are in the right mind. And when you go to Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter, it speaks about that. You know, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning. You know, the heart of the fools is in the house of mirth. Niggas are living it up. They're looking for bigger and better things. And yeah, because I remember I went into this and it really didn't go into it, but crushed. Okay, that's pretty much it for contrite. But oh, niggas are looking forward to these things, looking forward to life. Um, you know, prosperity, so on and so forth. But the true men of the Lord, we're not, we're in that contrite spirit. We're in that broken heart because, and we're the one. Ultimately, we're the only ones that's crying out because nobody else is doing the or making the complaints rather, like we are making, because these complaints are reaching into the heavens. All right, we're crying out because our spirit is broken. Not broken in the sense of no longer being able to fight, but broken in the sense of being tired. Brothers is catching hell, and it's like one day after another, you just continuously hear things that Akim are going through, and it's like, man, damn, like when the hell is this shit gonna end? But we have a for sure end coming soon for us, and we just gotta continue to believe, man. You know, but again, we resent, but we understand why we went through these things, which is why we resent it. We resent the fact that we didn't take Yahweh Shema Shai, serious. To sum it up, okay, because Jake thought that the Lord ain't gonna do that. The Lord ain't gonna do that, and then the Lord fucked you up. And speaking to myself first and foremost, man, these things, bro, we catching hell, and it's easy to get in that mindset of, man, the flesh and this, but man, we gotta fight, bro. And I can speak for myself, but nigga, I'm fighting. I'm trying my best. The best that I can do. And Lord willing, that's accepted, to Yahweh Shema Shai. But there's still things that we can do better, which we all can. It's always a part of it. But man, this shit, again, you look back sometimes, it's like, man, all we had to do was listen. Okay? Which verse 19 says, many of the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivered him out of them all. So ultimately, we're going to get delivered out of all these afflictions and persecutions and so on and so forth. But these things are coming upon us because of our disobedience, and that's just it. So we got to bear the indignation. We got to, we got to tuck tail, if you will, and just deal with it. Okay, but deal with it in the sense of building yourself up, no longer doing certain things, things of that nature. Hebrews 12 and 5, it says, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked to him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. So like you. If ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? So we're going to go through some shit. All right, verse 8. But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. We're all going to go through some shit. But we have to endure that chastening, the elect, the hopeful elect. We got to go through these things, okay? We had to have that feeling of resentment towards what we've done to offend Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. But then on top of that, like I said, with this part, sometimes could have a positive sense in English, appreciate, be grateful for. We also got to do that, you know. But it says this is obsolete. So, but just saying that for the sake of it being there, you know, hey, still make sure that you're appreciative and grateful for the things that Yahweh Shema Shai is doing for you. And take, even with you being in this bad and you know, trodden down state, hey, the Lord is still looking out. Okay, we're in a better position than uh, hell, all the niggas on the earth. You know, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans do not have access to what you know, us brothers in the faith and you few sisters have access to. They don't have access to that, man. And if they do, they're not taking it serious. So fuck them. You know, so in that sense, yeah, be grateful for it. But ultimately, hey, we still feel, you know, we feel. But I'll close on this because what we at? Yeah, I'm gonna close on this. I'm gonna take my bed. Um, that's man, that's another thing, man. you fucking, you be tired, bro. You get off late, just still try to balance out. It's just a whole bunch of bullshit. Had we listened, we wouldn't have to deal with none of this. What was I going to? Damn it. What was I going to? I said resent. I said be grateful, but at the same time, feel pain and regret. Salakia. It escaped me. Ah, what was it? hmm. I think it was Baruch. This is still a good precept if it wasn't, but I think it was Baruch. It Baruch 4. I started at verse 6 and jumped down. It says, "You were sold to the nations not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemy." So this is why we were, you know, put here. Okay. Verse 7, "For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to the Most High. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nourished you." So Jake has completely bugged out and forgotten that the Lord has taken care of us all these damn times, all these generations, all these captivities. The Lord has always made sure that, hey, there's no end of his people, and you know the elect is still taken care of, but we've all fallen short. So we resent the action because all we needed to do was listen. As it says here, all they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. We didn't listen. So guess what? Now we're dying. Now you got, again, you have job issues, you have bodily issues, you have baby mama issues, you have things that you shouldn't be fucking dealing with as an Israelite male. Israelite men should not have to go and debate with a woman about other women. That shouldn't be a thing in the earth. But it is because of our disobedience. We shouldn't have to go to a hospital for certain ailments or this or that or so on and so forth. But we do because we went off. You know, there's certain things that we just shouldn't be dealing with. What is that? Lamentations are wood and water is sold unto us. We shouldn't be buying these things, but we're here. So again, we gotta do this. Verse 25. "My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High, for thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck. So pretty soon we're going to, you know, see the destruction of our enemies, and we can't wait. We're shooting for that, man. All right. And again, as it says here in verse 28, uh, speaks about seeking him 10 times more. Now that we're coming into the understanding of this, right? And now we know, okay, this, you know, what we did was wrong. So now we're in that state of what? Resentment. Okay. We're feeling pain, feeling regret. Okay. Because we understand, man, we shouldn't have did this. We should not have did this. So now we feel that resentment, and you know, we gotta seek the Lord 10 times more and just strive for the masteries. You know, strive for the masteries. Do the best that you can, and pray for one another, man. Because it is, like I said, it's getting close and it's getting bad. You know, brothers is damn. I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to say it. I don't know how to explain it. But you can tell that the spirit of the Lord is just he's moving something. He's getting us to where we gotta be at that point to where we just don't give a fuck about none of this shit and we're numb. All right. And it gives you that humility as well. When you resent your wrongdoings, it gives you humility as well. Because you understand you ain't worth, you know, what the earth tells you. No, we're servants. Okay. The Lord could have raised up rocks to do this. So we're not important in that aspect. Okay. It says the greater thou art, the more thou humble thyself. So we understand, man. Yeah, we above the regular niggas of the earth, absolutely. But man, you still got to be humble with it, and the humility, yeah, Salakia, the humility comes with resenting, you know, your wrongdoings. But oh, that's what it was. Call like how about Shema Shai. It came back to me. That was the precept. So I'm in on this because the Lord brought it back. What's that? Let not your sins weigh you down. Is that 16? I gotta go read this again. Yeah. Second Ezra 16. This was what I wanted to get. You know, the Wadi Abashim Shai brought it back up to the spirit. All right. Second Ezra 16 and 75. It says, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord power. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Because I was mentioning that really for the latter part, you know, letting your sins weigh you down. Like I said, we resent our past doings, but we're not gonna let that shit weigh us down, man. You know, we gotta conquer that. So that, hey, that, you know, you gotta talk yourself to the mirror, or in the mirror, rather. You know, talk to a brother. You know, meditate, write it down, put it on a sticky note. Hey, goddamn it, we gotta fight. We can't let this shit weigh us down. We fucked up. We gonna fuck up. We in the flesh. What the hell you gonna do about it? What you can do about it is try to get better and just you know, pray to the Lord and to myself first and foremost. You know, so I just wanted to put that up real quick, man. Lord's will. This is edifying to the elect. Before we close, giving our praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Chakodash. Double honors once again, as always, and to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us the truth. Peace, much love, and salutations always to those who elect. To the next one, Shalom.